There was no Tinder, no flowers, no candlelit dinner, no texting her at 2 a.m. hoping she replies. In the ancient world, if you wanted a woman, you had to earn her. And the competition was not friendly, it was not polite, it was not civilized. Men bled for it, men killed for it. Men spent years, their entire youth, preparing for a single moment that would decide whether their bloodline continued or ended with them. And the women? They were not passive, they were not waiting. They were watching, judging, testing, choosing. And most men did not make the cut. This is the story of how ancient boys became men, chased women across prehistory, and changed the human race forever. Before we go further, forget everything you think you know about how men and women came together. In the ancient world, there were no rules written on paper. The only rules were written in biology. And biology had one goal, one single obsession: reproduction. Every instinct a prehistoric man had was engineered by millions of years of evolution to answer one question: are you strong enough to pass your genes forward? And women, whether consciously or not, were the judges of that question. Scientists call this sexual selection. Darwin identified it, but prehistoric humans lived it every single day. The strongest men reproduced, the weak ones watched, and the pressure that created on young men growing up in ancient tribes was unlike anything the modern world has ever seen. A prehistoric boy did not simply grow up and find a wife. It did not work that way. First, he had to prove himself. In most ancient cultures around the world, young men went through initiation rituals so brutal, so physically and mentally extreme, that many did not survive them. In some tribes, boys were sent alone into the wilderness for weeks. No food, no shelter, no tribe. If they came back, they were men. If they didn't, they were forgotten. In other cultures, boys were made to fight older men, endure pain without crying, hunt dangerous animals alone, carry heavy loads across impossible distances. And only after surviving all of this were they even considered eligible, even worthy of being looked at by the women of the tribe. The message was clear. Suffering was the entrance fee. Now the real game started, and it was not subtle. Prehistoric men used every tool nature gave them. Physical displays came first: height, muscle, scars. A man with scars in the ancient world was not damaged goods. He was advertising. Every scar said, "I survived something that could have killed me." Every muscle said, "I can protect what is mine." Every kill said, "I can feed a family." But physical display alone was not enough. Women in ancient tribes were remarkably sophisticated evaluators. Archaeological evidence shows that ancient men brought gifts: rare stones, animal skins, carefully carved objects that took hours or days to make. These gifts were not romantic gestures. They were proof that the man could provide, proof that he was patient enough to create something of value, proof that a child in his care would not starve. But here is where it gets brutal. He was never the only one trying. In a small prehistoric tribe, there might be 20 women of childbearing age, and 40 men competing for them. The math was savage. Half of those men would never reproduce, their bloodline ending quietly, without a single descendant. This is not theory. This is in the DNA record. Scientists studying ancient genetic data discovered that throughout most of human prehistory, only one man reproduced for every 17 women. Read that again. One man, 17 women. The competition was not just fierce, it was existential. Men fought, men raced, men displayed, men performed. Some tribes held formal competitions, wrestling matches, hunting contests, endurance trials, where the winner earned the right to approach the woman he had chosen. And losing was not just embarrassing. It meant another year of waiting. Another year of watching other men build families, while you started again from nothing. Now here is the part that surprises most people. Women in the ancient world were not simply won, they chose. Research into modern hunter-gatherer tribes, the closest living example of how our ancestors lived, shows that women held enormous power over their own reproductive choices. They observed men over months, sometimes years. They watched how a man treated the weaker members of the tribe. Did he share his food? Did he help without being asked? Did he stay calm under pressure or fall apart? Because a woman in the ancient world understood something that took modern science centuries to prove. A kind man, a patient man, a man who cooperated with others was more likely to keep a child alive than a man who was simply strong. Strength wins the hunt, character keeps the family together, and women, even 10,000 years ago, knew the difference. When a woman chose a man in the ancient world, it was rarely a single moment. It was a process, a gradual drawing together. Shared meals, shared shelter, proximity. In many hunter-gatherer cultures, there was no formal marriage ceremony. A couple simply began spending all their time together. The tribe noticed, the tribe accepted it, and then nature took its course. Pregnancy in the ancient world was not announced with a test from a pharmacy. A woman's body changed. The tribe saw it, and the response, in most ancient cultures studied, was communal. The whole tribe prepared. Food was gathered, shelter was reinforced. Older women, who had survived childbirth themselves, gathered around, because everyone understood what was at stake. Childbirth in the ancient world killed 1 in 5 women. Every pregnancy was a risk the entire tribe took seriously. So the next time someone tells you that ancient humans were primitive, that they were driven only by instinct and impulse, remember what the evidence actually shows. Ancient men spent years preparing themselves to be worthy of love. Ancient women spent years carefully evaluating who deserved it. And when they finally came together, the whole community wrapped around them. The chase was never just about desire. It was never just about survival. It was about something the ancient world understood long before we gave it a name. It was about legacy, about continuity, about the quiet, desperate human need to reach forward through time and leave something of yourself behind. They had no words for love, but they fought for it, bled for it, proved themselves worthy of it. And somewhere deep in your DNA, in the oldest part of who you are, that same drive still lives. The chase never really ended. It just changed its shape.